How many times did you hit her with the sledgehammer?
I'd say at least 12. Putting my fingers on her neck to check her pulse and make sure she's dead.
I mean, when did this pop into your head as far as killing your mom?
Several years ago.
August 10th, 2012, Hendersonville, Tennessee. It was a quiet night in the suburbs until the sound of metal hitting bone tore through the silence. Upstairs, a 16-year-old boy woke up to the smell of smoke and the piercing sound of fire alarms. He ran to his mom's bedroom and found something that would haunt him for the rest of his life. Blood covered the floor. His mom's body was lying there, beaten so badly she was unrecognizable. And his 15-year-old brother Zachary was gone, disappearing into the night with the same sledgehammer that took their mother's life and tore their family apart. In Chapter 4 of the Grim Chapters, we will dive into the horrifying case of 15-year-old Zachary Davis and the events that led to that fateful night in August. What happened that night in Tennessee goes way beyond anything you'd expect from a 15-year-old kid. As you're about to see, this is a boy who planned his mother's murder with the precision of an adult killer, then sat across from investigators describing the wet, thumping sound of her skull cracking like he was talking about the weather. Melanie Davis was 40 years old, working as a paralegal and training as a triathlete. She'd already been through hell once before when her husband died of ALS 5 years earlier. Now she was trying to rebuild, working hard to support her 2 sons in their new home in Sumner County. The quiet kid who barely spoke above a whisper, who wore the same hoodie every single day. She had no clue he was methodically planning her death. For Zachary, his dad's death triggered something very dark. His grandmother Gail later said the boy went into a complete tailspin. The family knew he needed help, so Melanie took him to see Dr. Bradley Freeman at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. What the doctor found was seriously disturbing. Zachary was hearing voices, including his dead father's voice. Dr. Freeman diagnosed him with schizophrenia and depression. During one session, Zachary told him that his father was talking to him from beyond the grave. But then everything went wrong. After just 4 sessions, Melanie pulled him out of therapy. The family moved to Sumner County thinking a change of scenery would fix things. But you can't move away from what's happening inside your own head. By 2012, the warning signs were screaming at anyone who bothered to look. Zachary had become this ghost of a kid at school. He'd whisper instead of talk and wear the same hoodie day after day. His classmates knew something was seriously off, but nobody did anything about it. On his phone, he had the kind of stuff that should have terrified any parent. He had phone apps about serial killers and torture devices. His notebooks were full of twisted thoughts like, "You can't spell slaughter without laughter." He was reading Stephen King's Misery and playing violent video games, but somehow his mother missed all of it. On August 10th, Melanie took both boys to see a movie. Just a normal family night out. While they're sitting in that theater, Zachary is already planning her murder. He's thinking through every detail of what he's going to do when they get home. After the movie, Zachary went to his room and started packing with a methodical preparation. He packed clothing, notebooks, a toothbrush, gloves, a ski mask, and a claw hammer. To anyone watching, maybe it looked like he was planning to run away. The reality was so much worse. Melanie went to bed at 9 p.m., completely clueless that her son was sitting in the next room, waiting for her to fall asleep so he could kill her. Zachary waited until he was sure his mom was asleep. Then he went down to the basement and got a sledgehammer. And he specifically chose this tool because, as he'd later told police without any emotion, he was worried he might miss with something smaller.
And how long does it take you to plan that?
Probably a few minutes, but I waited for several hours to make sure everybody in the house was asleep.
How did you make sure they were asleep?
I just waited and checked on them.
Just checked on them, opened the door, looked at them?
Yes, sir. I killed her at around 11 p.m., I think. And I think she went to sleep at around 9 o'clock.
The sledgehammer gave him the best chance of killing her. Zachary walked into his mother's bedroom while she was sleeping and started swinging. He hit her in the head somewhere between 8 and 15 times. The medical examiner said she died from blunt force trauma. When crime scene investigators photographed the blood on the floor, it was in the exact shape and size of a sledgehammer head. But killing his mother was just the beginning. After the murder, Zachary closed her bedroom door and walked to the family game room. He doused the room with whiskey and gasoline, then lit it on fire. His plan was to burn the whole house down with his brother Josh still sleeping upstairs, making it look like some kind of tragic accident.
When you killed her, what about your brother lives there with you too, right? That's the only person who lives with you?
Yes, sir.
Did you do anything to him?
No, sir. I was kind of expecting the fire to kill him.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Zachary made one mistake, though. He closed the game room door, which kept the fire from spreading fast enough. Instead of the massive blaze he wanted, the fire stayed contained long enough for smoke alarms to wake Josh up. When Josh ran to get his mother, he found her bloody corpse and realized his little brother had done something unthinkable. Josh escaped to a neighbor's house while Zachary disappeared into the night, still covered in his mother's blood. Police found him about 10 miles from home in the early morning hours. When they arrested him, he was carrying a notebook with a written confession. But what he said during questioning was even more disturbing than the crime itself. After being read his rights, Zachary confessed to everything. But it wasn't what he said, it was how he said it. When investigators asked how he felt about killing his mother, he just stared at them and said, "I didn't feel anything when I killed her." The whole confession was videotaped and played in court. Jurors watched this teenager describe murdering his mother like he was talking about doing homework. When they asked if he'd do it again, his answer was, quote, "I would probably kill Josh with a sledgehammer too." He showed zero remorse when they showed him photos of his mother's blood-soaked body. He actually laughed when describing how heavy the sledgehammer was and the sound it made hitting her skull. He called it a wet, thumping sound. When they asked why he hit her so many times, his answer was simple again. Quote, "I wanted to make sure she was dead."
How many times did you hit her with the sledgehammer?
I don't know.
I mean, any estimation?
I'd say at least 12.
12 times. Where did you hit her at on her body?
Around the head area.
Okay, was she sleeping at the time, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did she wake up and say anything to you?
No, sir. I put my fingers on her neck to try to pulse and make sure she's dead.
Dr. Phil McGraw interviewed Zachary for his show, asking why he killed his mother. Zachary said that she wasn't taking care of the family. During that interview, he laughed again when talking about the murder weapon and the sounds of the attack. Then he tried to blame the whole thing on his brother Josh during the trial. His attorney, Randy Lucas, had to openly admit in court that, yes, Zachary killed his mother, and they were just trying to get a lighter sentence. Even that desperate lie showed he still couldn't take responsibility for what he'd done. Fortunately, Judge D. David Gay wasn't buying any of it. At sentencing, he looked right at Zachary and said, "You became evil, Mr. Davis. You went to the dark side." It's that plain and simple. The jury took just 3 hours to find Zachary Davis guilty on all counts: first-degree murder, attempted murder, and arson. He got life in prison with the possibility of parole after 51 years, plus additional decades for trying to kill his brother and burning the house down. His lawyer tried to appeal, arguing the sentence was too harsh for a juvenile, but the Tennessee Court of Appeals upheld everything in 2017. Dr. Phil tried to see something redeemable in Zachary, saying he saw a lost child rather than evil. His grandmother, Gail, blamed everyone: the teachers, the school counselors, even Melanie herself for not getting him proper treatment. Dr. Freeman, the psychiatrist who diagnosed him, testified that Zachary's mental illness made him incapable of planning the murder. But the thing is, everyone saw the warning signs: the voices, the violent content, the isolation. the disturbing writings. His teachers knew something was wrong, his mother knew, his grandmother knew, yet nobody did enough to stop what was coming. Today, Zachary Davis sits in a Tennessee prison where he'll likely spend the rest of his life. He's 27 now, and if he ever gets parole, he'll be in his mid-60s. Melanie Davis worked hard, loved her sons, and survived losing her husband to a devastating disease. She deserved to grow old, to see grandchildren, to find happiness again. Instead, she died alone in her bedroom, killed by the child she was trying so hard to help. Josh Davis lost his mother and his brother on the same night. He has to live with finding her body, with knowing his little brother tried to burn him alive, with wondering if there was something he could have done differently. And somewhere in a prison cell, Zachary Davis serves his time, carrying whatever thoughts go through the mind of someone who could laugh while describing the sound of his mother's skull cracking. What are your thoughts on the tragic case of Zachary Davis? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this story important, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with others. Your support is greatly appreciated. Stay safe, and we will see you in the next chapter.